Hi guys, Luke from CFC here. Just gonna show you how mail merge works. Let's get straight into it. So mail merge, the idea behind it is you have a series of data entries, I suppose we could call them. In this case, I've got some first names, last names, and corresponding email addresses that are in a spreadsheet format that I've saved to my desktop. Ideally, you'd be saving them somewhere a bit more secure. Um, but for this test or demo, I'll use my desktop. So we've created a really basic form of a kind of contact information there. Now we're going to use Word to generate a template or draft a template that we want to then use to email out to the different people, the first names, last names, and email addresses in that spreadsheet without having to manually type in each name and email address. What we're going to do first is go to the Mailings tab across the top here and then go to Select Recipients, and then we're going to say Use an existing list. So from here, Desktop, there's my test file. Going to click on OK. Worth taking note here that I did have headings in the first row, so we're going to leave that ticked. There's only one worksheet in this, or one table, so nothing else to select here. Click OK. Doesn't look like a lot's happened at the moment, but if I type in here dear, and then now I don't really want to type their name every time here, so what I can do is insert merge field, not last name, that's first name I've clicked, but yeah, first name and then last name. I put a space between the two there as well, just so that it formats correctly. So it doesn't look like a lot, looks a bit weird, a bit sort of like I'm doing some programming here, but it's nice and simple as you've seen. I've just been clicking buttons. If I click on this button up here, preview results, see how it's converted that information from first name, last name to the actual first name and last name of my record. I can use these arrows across the top to cycle through the different records that I had as well. I've only got 5 in my instance, but you imagine you have hundreds of recipients that you need to email. So yeah, that's how mail merge can help you initially with like a data import. Um, so that's that in place. This is a test. Thanks me. So obviously this is very basic. Imagine I've typed out a huge letter, and it's a letter with everyone in that contact list needs to receive. It's the same across the board. It's the same thing. I just need different people to see it, and I need this field at the top to change to the relevant person, and then to send to their correct email address. That takes days to do if I was to manually do it in Outlook with draft new, copy paste the names and the email addresses. Now instead of that, we're just going to go onto this finish and merge button. Click on send email messages. See how, because of how we've mail merged before, it's using well, we don't want to use first and last name, and it's smart enough to detect that it's going to use an email address. What this is going to do is it's going to fill in the actual email address in the to column within Outlook for you automatically. So next step would be subject line test. For you guys, it's whatever's relevant. HTML, leave that as default. It will include and kind of support most image formats and any other advanced imagery and other inserts that you've put into your template. Changing it to anything else is probably a bit more advanced, and we can go into that if anyone needs any help in those topics. But for now, let's leave this as HTML. Very important section here. We don't really want to send all the emails, and I'll come back to that in a minute. It's probably not valid to send just one. We could probably just send one email. This is good maybe if you needed to go back and find one that didn't send or that they're claiming they never received. You could go back and just use mail merge to automatically send out again. But the from is what we want to use. In this instance, I've only got 5 emails, so I can use 1 through 5. The reason we don't want to use all, I said I'd come back to it, is blacklisting. If you have a mail server on site, or you use 365, or whatever your preference is for sending mail, if you send out hundreds of emails with one click and you just leave Outlook to churn through it, most providers, most filters, most anti-spam detectors, engines, anything out there that's to try and stop spam from getting through is going to detect that your IP address, your building address, your internet address at your office um, is sending out vast amounts of information in the form of email, and it's all the same email, it's just different sender, different addresses, it's going to flag that as a bad address, a blacklisted address, and you'll be considered like a spam sender for a while. And you'll have to get in touch with your IT or us and ask us to contact the providers that are kind of global blacklisted providers that email engines around the world use to define whether someone is safe or blacklisted and try and get you off the list. It causes all kinds of problems with if you have a normal person sat next to you trying to send one normal email. If you've just done hundreds and blacklisted the entire company, person next to you trying to send one email is going to get blocked because it's not just you that gets blocked, it's the whole company. So perhaps another topic for another day on how blacklisting works. But for this case, just think of it as we're not trying to send out hundreds at once. You need to kind of be sensible with it. I'd say maybe do no more than 50 every couple of hours. Just staggers it, makes it a bit more believable, a bit more human. So yeah, that's the concept of mail merge. I don't really want to go into opening up Outlook and showing you because I don't really want to send test emails. But what will happen at the moment of you clicking OK is it will stick all of these emails of however many you've queued up, depending on whether you've clicked all, if you've only got 50 or so email addresses in your entire spreadsheet, or if you've got hundreds and you've defined one through to however many you're defining, you click on OK, it will spool all of those emails in your outbox. So whatever your Outlook is signed into, it will use that account to send out the emails. And you can actually look at your outbox and then look at your sent items as it cycles through them and see the emails go out. So keep that in mind if you're trying to send out from a different address. You need to consider who you're signed in as within Outlook. But that is a real kind of basic rundown of how a mail merge works and the reasons to use it, and how we've got a pulled in username or first name, last name, and email address, all from a single data set or spreadsheet in this case. You can see how this saves many hours of manual entries. So yeah, that's how mail merge works. Hope that's been a bit insightful. Hope it helps. Bit of a long video, sorry about that. If there's anything you need help with, or if you would like us to talk you through it, or any other topics that we've put in blogs, then yeah, please do get in touch. The contact details for us are on the website. Or if you've got our contact details already, just reach out to us and we'll gladly help you through whatever you're struggling with. Okay, that's Luke from CFC. Cheers, guys. Bye.